Meowdy. I'm the creator of Chipflake and the 2D artist, animator, and one of the UI designers for Super Chipflake U Quest for the Uncooked Schnitzel, a brand new semi-open world 3D platformer made in collaboration with small German indie game studio SalsaShark. This game has been in development since 2020 and started out as a small snake-like minigame, over the years evolving into a full 3D game with its own world to explore, collectibles to collect, and quests to solve. Heavily inspired by classic 3D platformers of the 90s and early 2000s, we really aim to capture that nostalgic feeling of interacting with quirky NPCs and feeding your inner completionists with rewards for collecting anything and everything you can, but with a modern feel. Carefully crafting the perfect balance between graphics and performance to give you the smoothest gameplay experience, without actually looking like a PS1 game. The game is coming out this year on Steam and Nintendo Switch, and is available to wishlist now. On to the FAQ! What genre is it and what do you do in the game? You're on a quest for the uncooked schnitzel, of course. Basically, it's a semi-open world 3D adventure game with platforming elements, in which you play as Chip and explore the world and complete quests, collecting things and stuff, and playing mini-games along the way. Do I need to watch your content or a specific video before playing the game? There will be collectibles and references to my videos within the game, but the idea is that anyone can play it without ever knowing what a gosh darn Chipflake is. It was pretty important to me in the studio that this isn't just a YouTuber game, which you can only enjoy if you've watched the 15 hours worth of content I've made over the years. Nods to my animations exist for those who will appreciate them, but the aim was always to make a fun game first and foremost. How much will it cost? It's really important for us to come up with a price in which everyone who worked on the game is compensated for their talent fairly, and from a player's perspective also feels fair in terms of gameplay time, and most importantly, funness. Right now we're estimating somewhere between 18 and 25 USD, but we'll be able to provide a more exact number closer to the release date when we can give our best possible judgment as to what the game is worth for the player. Will it come out for Nintendo Switch 2? The game has been in development since before the Switch 2 was announced, and was always optimized for the Switch 1, so as of right now there are no plans for a Switch 2 version. That being said, it's not completely off the table. What I want you to do is check out the game for Switch 1 or Steam when it comes out, share it with your friends, leave us a review. Live streaming, review, or let's play videos are absolutely welcome too if you're the creative type. Just give us your honest opinion and support and spread the word about the game if you enjoy it. Basically what I'm saying is, SalsaShark is very ambitious, and we absolutely have a ton of ideas that won't fit into this release of the game, but depending on its reception, the possibility of an enhanced version, DLC, or a sequel is definitely there. We just need your support to do so. What we do know is that Switch 1 games are compatible with the Switch 2, so if you get the digital version for your Switch 1, you'll be able to transfer it and play it on your Switch 2 too. Will there be a physical version? This also depends heavily on the game's reception. It is something we really want to do, but it can only happen if the initial release goes well. So please support the digital release. How beefy does my computer need to be to run the game? As said, the game is optimized to run at 60 frames per second in 1080p resolution on the Switch. And right now, the game runs in 4K 60 on the Steam Deck. Low-end hardware support is very important to us, and more specific details about what the absolute minimum hardware requirements are will be available on Steam closer to the game's release. Why are you making a game anyway? I guess German game dev YouTuber plus English cat animation YouTuber crossover was a little bit unexpected, huh? Well, back when I met Zamb, we bonded over our mutual interest in animation, and one day got onto the topic of what would a Chipflake video game look like? And yeah, it started out as this fun little chip-inspired minigame that just, over the years and after some experimentation, evolved into this bigger project, and the kind of game that Zamb is truly passionate about developing. So yeah, it was never really a, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I need to make a video game about myself kind of thing. More like just friends supporting friends and making a cool project together. So, what does the name mean? Developed by a German game studio, Super Chipflake U contains many German inspirations and references, hence the adoption of the humble U, a funny looking character from the German alphabet. It's both a reference to the Nintendo Switch's predecessor, the Wii U, as well as the German influence on the game's development. It also looks like a smiley face. So as a whole, we wanted to come up with a name that represents the light-hearted 90s 3D platformer feel, as well as our weird sense of humor. Basically, don't think about it too much. Unless, perhaps, there's another secret meaning behind it. Technically it's pronounced U, but definitely feel free to say you. The game is for you, after all. Will it come out on Xbox or PlayStation? There are currently no plans to release on any other system than the PC and the Nintendo Switch, unless there is a very, very high demand for it. How can I support the game? Wow, how nice of you to ask! As I've said before, the best way you can support us is to wishlist the game, get it on Steam and/or Switch when it comes out, and recommend it to others. But if you're passionate about indie games, you can also follow and support SalsaShark Studios and the lead developer SalsaShark directly. Super Chipflake Ooh is one of many unique and creative projects the studio has to offer, so whether you want to support our prospect to expand the game in the future or join the ride for their other wacky game projects, I highly recommend following them on social media or joining Zam's Patreon to become one of the amazing people supporting a talented up-and-coming indie game studio in these trying times. If there's anything else you're curious about regarding the game, feel free to leave a comment. If we don't get to your question personally, it may be included in a follow-up FAQ, or in the Steam and Nintendo eShop pages for the game. More teasers and the final trailer for the game will also be coming soon. I highly recommend subscribing to SalsaShark on YouTube so you don't miss them. Please add the game to your wishlist, tell your nan to add it to her wishlist, and let me know in the comments how you feel about the game so far.